Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to OfferVault's webinar series. It's been a while, and we thought we'd come back with something extra special. Tonight, Jeff Knight, the founder of the Offer Machine, is here to bring you some very, very important information about a very special turnkey software application or program that will basically allow you to build a business. And he's going to show you the model of how that works, how it succeeds, and how you can make money doing it. So sit back and pay attention, because Jeff has some very, very good information to share with you tonight. He's been around at this for a while. He knows exactly what he's talking about. And along with Jeff, we have Steve Lowry of OfferVault to help us out through the dead spots and answer the questions. And I think you're in for a very, very good bit of information tonight. So take notes. We do record these as always, so it'll be available in the members area later. But I'd suggest you sit down, turn off everything of a distraction, tell the dog to go away, pay attention, and you're going to get a lot out of this. So Jeff, Steve, it's all over to you guys.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Rick. I appreciate that intro, and definitely appreciate the opportunity to spend some time with everybody on this Tuesday evening, at least Tuesday evening on the East Coast here. I realize that OfferVault community stretches the globe. So whether it's your morning, whether it's your midday, it's great to have you in here today. And I'm really excited to be spending time talking about one of my favorite things to talk about. And that is, of course, making money online, and specifically about the opportunities surrounding lead generation online. As you can see here from our quite long-winded and wordy title here, we're talking about a multi-billion-dollar opportunity in lead generation. And specifically, we're going to be talking about a true business blueprint that you can use to not just talk high-minded about the concept of lead generation, but to talk about how you can make money, and it can be done in a very easy way. One of the great things about lead generation is that, kind of like death and taxes, it's never going away. As long as there are businesses on this planet that are looking to make money and are looking for people to buy their products and services, you're going to have people who are interested in buying leads, interested in their products and services. And there is an entire industry surrounding this, a multi-billion-dollar industry, as we say here, that you can tap into and just make a very nice living for yourself. So we're going to be talking this evening. Of course, my name is not Tom. That would be too easy. Tom is short for the Offer Machine. This is my software. It's a software as a service, and it's built by lead generation and affiliate marketing pros for lead generation and affiliate marketing pros. It's a turnkey software as a service that it incorporates all the different technical components that you need in order to succeed in this business. But I'm not just going to be talking about the software. I'm going to be talking about the entire opportunity surrounding the software, and as I said here, a business blueprint. So as I said, my name is not Tom. My name is Jeff Knight. I'm the founder of the Offer Machine, and I just want to take a brief moment to, I guess, show you the slide that my mom likes. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. I think it's important, if you're going to be spending time, the next hour with me, then you should probably know who's going to be telling you the very things we're going to be talking about here. And it's important for you to know that I've been doing this for 20 years. I'm definitely a direct marketing expert. I've been at this for a long time. And as the number of years and the gray hair that you may or may not be able to see on that photo can attest to, it's not always internet marketing, obviously. It's mobile, and so many of these opportunities that exist before us now are new. But the old world direct marketing space is where I hail from originally, doing things like TV, radio, print, direct mail, and just driving tons of traffic. Back then it was phone calls, but driving traffic and selling a product or service as a result of being able to successfully generate a lead. I want to bring up this next point just because I suspect that, like me, a lot of the folks who are on this call tonight are self-funded individuals. And these are my favorite kind of people in business. These are the kind of people who know that they grab their boots and they just pull up the bootstraps and they make it happen. This business, lead generation, direct marketing online, is a phenomenal opportunity to make big dollars. There's no question about that. We have built, in my past, $1 million a month grossing revenue opportunity in the old school direct marketing world, the TV, print, and radio, and literally just did that by conjuring up all the loose change that I could find in my couch. and turn that into a rollicking success. I mention this because these are the roots, and a lot of these roots really translate to the success that we've had today, and I think it's important for you to realize. We were also able to, in my past, we built a dial-up ISP, again, 100% self-funded, and within a two and a half year period of time, ended up selling this to a publicly traded NASDAQ company. So the interesting thing about this was that even though this was an online business and that it was an ISP at the time selling dial-up, which doesn't really exist today, we didn't do any of our marketing online. So we did all of our marketing in an offline world for an online product. And frankly, at the time that we sold this, which was in '05, I didn't really know much about online marketing, but I knew a lot about the components that drive sales. So whether you're offline sending direct mail, whether you're online using Facebook or Twitter, it's the same basic components that go into a sale. The same motivations of a consumer exist, whether it's in all this old world stuff or new world stuff. And so I took that and I wanted to figure out the online side. So I went in without any knowledge of the online marketing space, and I quickly became a super affiliate in the financial lead space, basically taking this know-how and applying it to the internet. And we've been at this on the internet side for about 9 years, and I'd be lying to you if I told you that everything was a walk in the park. We had a lot of learning. We had a lot of learning to do in order to figure this out, and we made mistakes. And part of what I want to talk to you about tonight is those mistakes and some of the pitfalls that I've seen people experience when they try and make money in the lead generation space, and how you can potentially avoid those pitfalls. One of the earliest things that I recognized trying to make money online that was the biggest hurdle for us was the technical components, trying to figure out all this technical stuff. I felt really satisfied in my ability to be able to figure out who wants to buy what, when, and to talk to them the right way. But early on, we were having a lot of issues with the technical side. So we realized, we just dug in, we figured it out, we did what everybody on this call does, they bootstrap and figure things out, and we basically built our own software. We built a software that's a one-of-a-kind software in the lead generation space. We just haven't seen anything else out there that does what Tom does. And I want to talk to you about that a little bit. It's been around for 5 years. It's been in use for 4 years. And I'm happy to tell you about that, but I also want to focus on the fact that I'm not here just to talk about my products. I'm really here to talk about lead generation and a specific opportunity that will give you, well, an opportunity to make tons of money if you employ things the right way. So now's the time where I tell you what I'm going to tell you. So briefly, the overview, the good news. There's lots of good news. When it comes to lead generation, it is one of the fastest and most lucrative money-making opportunities out there right now. As I said before, lead generation is not going anywhere. The only time lead generation is going to go away is when business as we know it goes away. Businesses in today's age, they don't want to spend money trying to figure out how to generate leads. They want to focus on, and they need to focus on, their core competencies. So to the extent that you can serve up a lead that's going to convert for them, they want them all day long. We're going to talk about how to be successful. So I shared with you that this is not just like pressing a button. I think we all know that. You know, we have to spend some time and figure things out. But we've figured out a lot of this stuff. In the 9 years we've been doing this, we've learned a great deal. And we're going to share with you tonight some of the elements about what you need to succeed and what might happen that could cause you to fail and how to avoid it. These are the 3 keys to this business. So, you know, if you take nothing else away, actually there's going to be 2 things for you to take away, but this is one of them. Traffic, technology, and buyers. So these are really the supporting legs of your stool, if you will, of the lead generation business. And if you get all these things working in tandem, you can have a very, very successful business. But sometimes that's easier said than done. Finally, the opportunity. Now, as I mentioned, I want to talk about lead generation because I love it. It's a phenomenal opportunity. It's only limited by, you know, your imagination really and the amount of time you want to put into it. But we have an opportunity for you with a strategic partner who I'm going to reveal later, which combined with Tom, make things a heck of a lot easier and give you a major leg up on your competition. So we'll get to that shortly. And let me just dig in a little bit further about some of the facts, the good news. So we all know lead gen and affiliate marketing is here. It's growing, only getting bigger. You can see we're supported by a good, reputable research company and Forrester's down there. It's not going anywhere. I'm telling you, these companies, especially in lean times like today, if you're in the business of selling auto insurance, if you're in the business of selling new roofs, if you're in the business of air conditioning units, whatever it might be, that's enough to focus on. You have your hands full running that business. For anybody to expect that somebody who's good at putting in an HVAC unit to then go out and figure out Google AdWords, or Twitter or Pinterest, or anything, it's not going to happen. They're never going to do that. So to the extent that lead gen and affiliate marketing businesses, which, as most of us know, have an opportunity for people to receive these leads at a fixed price that they're comfortable with, exists, as long as that exists, it's not going anywhere. Lead gen is a very basic formula. It's a simple mathematical formula. I mean, obviously, companies are in business to do business and make money. And it really comes down to their metrics, knowing their numbers. So if there's a given company, and let's go with an HVAC unit installer, because we're going to talk a little bit about that later on this evening. If they know that they can pay $100 to acquire a lead, and by the way, they can pay a lot more than that, but if they can acquire a lead for acquire a sale for $100, and they know that their sales agents are closing at 10% all day long, they will buy leads at $10. And if you find the way to generate your leads that convert a little bit better, maybe they converted 20%, they're going to pay you $20. It's a simple mathematical formula. And when you find the solution that works and you're helping these businesses to be good at what they're good at, to excel at their core competency, they want those leads. It's funny because typically in this kind of business, you think of people quote unquote selling advertising as going and knocking on doors and trying to break their way through the business. The roles are completely switched in lead gen. If you can deliver a quality lead at the price they want as many as they can possibly take. Lead gen is the primary goal. We took this study, we took a snippet from this study that eMarketer did, and as you can see here, they were surveyed with all the different things that these businesses and these marketing professionals are looking for, and increased lead flow was the biggest thing that they wanted. They just want to tee people up so they can then take them to their sales team and work their metrics and then do what they're best at. This kind of goes without saying, but that said, I think it needs to be said. It's just something that people don't really think about. Lead gen as an opportunity from the marketing perspective, it's easier. Frankly, it's an easier quote-unquote sale. If you're trying to push some offer where somebody has to buy something and they have to take out a credit card, they have to take out their checkbook, and they have to physically buy something, the ability to get them to that point is far more difficult than just to get them fill out a lead form. So filling out a lead form is really the beginning of the funnel. So if you can imagine that sales process to be a funnel, well, when somebody comes in as a lead, that's step one. And that's a lot easier than getting them to buy that, and you can get compensated for those leads. I want to talk briefly about some of the lead gen categories out there. And as I say at the very bottom here, it's limited only by your imagination. Okay, so you can generate leads for obviously anybody who's going to pay you for that lead. But I highlighted some of the biggest categories out there today, and I wanted to dig into them briefly and really talk about why some of these categories are so big and why you're going to continue to see these categories evolve and there to be more and more large-scale lead type categories emerging into the marketplace. Take EDU as an example. So I read a statistic that at least in the US, the average graduate is saddled with about $27,000 in debt. So then the EDU, the university or University of Phoenix or DeVry University or some of these online businesses, and they are businesses, don't get me wrong, they're really looking to sell a product for about $27,000-ish. And then on top of that, they obviously are financing the debt. So there's more money to be made there. And you can bet that they're willing to buy those leads for a lot, hundreds of dollars, depending upon the lead. And there's all different types of criteria upon which people will pay more for the lead. Auto insurance. Another reason why some of these big categories that we listed here are so big is because they're so scalable. You don't need to have a brick and mortar location set up in all 50 states. You can service and provide and issue an auto insurance policy from one central call center in Bangladesh or in Omaha. it doesn't matter. If the leads are flowing in, and typically the next step when the leads come in, obviously, is for the sales agents to call them. And if they figure out that formula that I referenced earlier and they know what their closing ratio is, it's a matter of just putting the foot on the gas and scaling. And these big categories do that. It's massive, massive business. Now, one thing I'd like to point out as well is that even though I'm talking about some really major categories that are really defining this industry, if you wanted to focus smaller, you can definitely do that with a solution that I'm going to present to you tonight as well. If you were in Schenectady, New York, and you were interested in florists and you had a lot of floral arrangement companies that you worked with, or local shops that you knew, and you just wanted to really focus on that one industry in that one area, you can definitely do that. But I would not recommend it, just because typically what I've found is the time that you can spend trying to build a big, massively scalable lead gen program is right around the same amount of time that you're going to put into a much smaller deal. So it just doesn't make sense from a business perspective to do that. But nevertheless, the opportunity that I'm going to present to you tonight is something you can take as big or as small as you want it to be. And by the way, that's just one more thing that I love about this business is the scalability. I think of companies like an Instagram, which sold to Facebook for $1 billion and only had around 12 people working for it at the time. Now, do I suspect that anybody is going to go out here and make $1 billion? It's certainly possible. But my real message here is that this business is scalable. When you have products that can be serviced online and you don't need to set up brick and mortar locations to do it, you can take it as large as your buyers want to take it. The keys to success. So here are the secrets. And, I don't know, but obviously there's a lot of detail to this business. Don't get me wrong. But if you really look at it, it comes down to three central themes. It's traffic, technology, and buyers. When you put all those together in the right formula, you can make a lot of money. And I don't know how many NC2A basketball fans we have on the line here, but John Wooden, who is a famed coach of UCLA, the winningest coach in NC2A basketball, he focused on the basics. He focused on the fundamentals. He focused on layups, and he focused on just foul shots. That was it, and that was his key to success. So when you really kind of don't get lost in all of the many details that exist in this business, and you always remind yourself about the central themes, and you make sure you're focusing your time on that which you are best suited to focus your time on. I mean, we all have strengths in this world, right? I mean, I'm a lot better at some things than I am at others. My wife would be the first to tell you. So admitting that and realizing that and knowing where to focus your time is key. Sounds easy, right? Well, of course, it's not so straightforward. There's reasons why people fail. And again, I'm hoping to share this with you and hope that some people can take some elements away from this and not do what some of these folks did. With the research that we've done and frankly, the experience that we've experienced, one of the major reasons people fail is traffic, right? If you don't get your traffic, you're not getting at bat. If you can't get up at bat, you can't even swing for the pitch. And in today's day and age, there are so many traffic opportunities that abound that frankly, I feel this is where most people in this business really need to focus, okay? There are the Instagrams of the world, the Pinterest, we all know Twitter, it hasn't been around for that long. Mobile is just so emerging and new. When you can find nuances within all of these different methodologies, this is how you win. And that is a full-time business. You can spend a lot of time finding something, and when you find the right key, you find the right email element, you find the right social media key, that can take up your time. If you're spending your time doing other things, it's going to detract from the time that you need to do getting the traffic. Data. I'm going to dig into data a little bit more on another slide, but I'm probably going to repeat the same thing twice because it's that damn important. And if you take nothing else away from this call, there's really two things that I want you to take away from this call. One is you need to get into the lead generation business. And whether you're working with me and my company doing it or not, that's fine. Get into the lead generation business. It is a phenomenal opportunity. And data is one of the ways that you can succeed. The old world of just pushing traffic to someone else, some other website that's out of your control, you can't collect any of that information. You can't remarket to that information. That is going to hamstring your ability to succeed. And we'll talk about that a little bit further. Technology. I shared with you firsthand when I made that transition from the offline world to the online world, there was a learning curve. There was definitely a learning curve, and you can spend a lot of money on technology. Even if you're not doing something in the States or in the UK or wherever you might reside, and you're going to the Philippines or India, you're going to spend less money, but you're going to be spending a lot of time managing it yourself, dealing with perhaps communication issues, different time zones. And then as things evolve, as you discover a new traffic opportunity and need to evolve the technology, it's going to be more money that you're spending. And don't get me wrong, if you're good at technology, that is where you should focus. I mean, I think a lot of this in success in general is just about knowing what you're good at and making sure that you're focusing on the right things. Competition, you know, this kind of goes without saying as well. This business is cutthroat. You always need to be optimizing. You need to be changing your landing pages. You need to be changing the way you're building your forms. You need to be staying ahead of the pack. You need to have a different landing page for your social media traffic than you do for your email traffic. It is vital to be constantly adjusting, tweaking, never sleeping on the success that you have, always staying ahead of the pack. And that also is a full-time job. Costs are too high. The technology, it can cost a ton of money. Again, whether you're in the States, whether you're out of the States, it adds up fast. And if you don't know the fundamental aspects of the technological process, you're going to cost yourself even more money. Traffic. So, you know, we said before, traffic is everything. This is where everything begins. And you can get mired in this world of technology and going to find your buyers, trying to make all that stuff work, hiring salespeople. It's time spent away from traffic, and this is time spent away from you being successful. This is a slide that I wanted to spend a little time on, and this is one of those key points, those key takeaway points. So definitely pay attention to this, okay? This is all about the data. If you want to increase the enterprise value of your company, you do that by collecting data. So in this crazy graph that we got here, in the lower left, you see something that symbolizes your traffic. So we have different sources of where your traffic might originate, and that's being pushed if you've been an affiliate, if you've been down the affiliate path to a quote-unquote network offer, and then it goes into this black box. So the network perhaps hosts this offer, the advertiser hosts the offer, and who knows what the person filled out on that form? Who knows if they filled out a full application and got accepted, and maybe your pixel didn't fire, aka maybe you weren't paid. You just don't know. Maybe the person was starting to fill out a form for auto insurance and their child was screaming and they had to run, and so they didn't get to the remainder of the pages, and accordingly they didn't complete the lead and you didn't get paid. But the difference is when you control your own traffic, and my software, Tom, the Offer Machine, gives you an opportunity to do that very easily, as I'll show you in a moment. You control the data. That is key to this business. Controlling the data is key. If somebody's in the market for auto insurance, I mean, think about yourself. If you're going to buy auto insurance, do you go with the very first person that you find? More often than not, people don't do that. You're going to get multiple quotes. So if you have the data and you know a way to get a hold of these people and you can reach out and offer them another quote, all the costs that you encumbered in order to obtain that person to your website in the first place, that's all sunk. Everything after that is gravy. So controlling your own data is key to succeeding in this business. Technology. Okay, this can be a problem. You can't succeed in the space without it. Things are always changing. You want to make sure that your page displays properly on mobile. You want to make sure that if you need to change your form fields because your buyer requested a different field, you can go in and do that quickly and easily. You don't want to constantly be racking up new charges from your technological department. It is never ending, and it is slow. In my experience, all of the developers that I've worked with, they want to work on, and God bless them, they want to work on high-minded projects. They want to create the next Google, the next Instagram, the next Twitter. They want to create something massive. They don't necessarily they're not that motivated by going in and changing a field, changing a font, making something pink, in the background, doing the things that will make you more money. And so what I found to happen is that they will drag their feet. They will be slow. They won't get it done in time. And it's something that doesn't need to take that long. These were some of the lessons that we learned and resulted in us building our own platform that I'm going to show you. The technology problems have been solved. We are, as I mentioned before, it's a lead gen and affiliate software, that is Tom, that comprises the following elements. We have a form builder. You can build that on your own without a developer. We have a WYSIWYG landing page builder, 100% drag and drop I'm going to show you. We have an integration builder. So the integration is when all that data, those leads that these auto insurance buyers, these home improvement buyers, these florists are willing to pay you so much money for, that data needs to get to them. And the integration is how that happens. It might sound technical, and it is, but we've made it very easy, as I'm going to show you. So all these things combined turn out to who we are, which is the offer machine, TOM for short. Buyers. Okay, here's another problem. Now, not everybody is a natural salesperson. It's something that many people just don't enjoy doing. They don't want to pick up the phone and call people. They don't want to hire people to do it. That's certainly more expense. In fact, I think that's a lot of reason why people are pushed to the internet in the first place in terms of a business model, because they're looking for something that they don't have to actually sell people on. And the good news is that you don't have to do that. We've got a really exciting opportunity I'm going to tell you about. Problem solved. We have partnered with a company called Integrate. Integrate is a massive marketing service provider with over 2,500 active advertisers, 127 verticals, lead types. So, a vertical is an auto insurance, a life insurance, a home air conditioning unit, 127 of them. They deal with the buyers, okay? Nearly 1,000 cost per lead offers that are currently running. And when you connect Integrate to TOM, all the technological components which have gotten in the way of people, probably the smaller guy, being able to succeed in this business, they're gone. They're completely nullified because TOM and Integrate work together so seamlessly that the data that you create on these offers that you build in minutes, literally you're going to see build an offer in minutes, it's connected with Integrate. There's no salespeople. It's done. So back to those three tenets of what you need to succeed in this business, which is the traffic, the buyers, and the technology. The buyers and the technology are completely done. You can check those boxes. And also we're going to be talking a little bit later about how we're happy to make available a short list of some really solid traffic providers we've seen out there who are not your everyday guys, which we can talk about making that available for you later. I want to take a moment to just show you what successful marketers are doing, and I want to highlight one particular offer here, okay? This offer was built by a guy who's been in the business for a long time, 10 plus years. It took him 4 weeks to build and $4,000 to build. And the bad news there for him is that he's not done, okay? He's going to go out and test this, and he's going to realize that things don't work right. That I'm going to try a different image. I want to target an Asian community and put an Asian model on my landing page. I want to go through mobile and I need a much smaller page. I need to make all these changes, the changes that make the traffic work and that make things deploy. Each time you do that, two things are happening. A, you're being mired in the technical details. You're being separated from what you really need to do, which is the marketing portion of things. And B, you're spending money. You're continuing to spend money to build this thing that is a never-ending project. Essentially, the components of a great offer are as follows. I mean, it's not rocket science. I definitely say there's a lot of art to it, artful stuff that can make the difference between success and failure. But at the core, and by the way, you're looking at an offer which is hosted on the Offer Machine platform, you need your value proposition, okay? You need to tell people what they're going to get. You need the ability to collect their data so you can monetize it. You need your call to action, and I think we all know that we have to change out these buttons all the time. And believe me, I've seen some really big lifts on something that you would never think would be that much of a big deal in terms of a button. Supporting benefits, you need a good graphic, and you need trust. So at this portion in the presentation, what I want to do is I want to show you. I want to show you what we can do here. And I want to show you how you can build a great offer like this quickly and easily using our software. So I'm going to jump into the Offer Machine and specifically a login that we've already created for OfferVault, a demo account for OfferVault. And I'm going to walk you through just how easy this is. I'm going to show you literally right in front of your own eyes tonight. You're going to see an offer get built in probably 5 minutes, 5 to 7 minutes, okay? I'm also going to show off this integration that we have connected with that company Integrate that has 127 different verticals that allow you to just connect these buyers, not pick up the phone and call them. It's connected in a flash. So the first step of what we do here in a lot of the modules that are comprised within Tom is to build a form. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to start out doing that very thing. So I'm going to start out using one of the identifiers that we use in order to tell the database what we're talking about here, and make let's do a HVAC offer. So HVAC stands for heating, ventilation, air conditioning. This is an expensive lead. I wish I didn't know that, but I do, because I just had to spend a lot of money replacing just one, and I'm sure the second one is right around the corner. So $6,000 to buy a new AC unit, I was worth a lot of money as a lead. So this is a category, by the way. One of the reasons I'm demoing this is because for all the viewers of the webinar tonight, if you choose to proceed with the plan that we're unfolding for you here, you will find that you have a lot of HVAC buyers with an insatiable appetite for leads pre-built into your Tom license, and you're going to see right now exactly how easy it is to build an offer. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to choose a form preset, okay? And we have a lot of different options here. I'm talking about this company Integrate, and specifically I'm talking about this category of HVAC. By selecting that and saving, what's happening in real time is the offer is being built. Okay, you're getting questions that are being created on a form. And if we go in here and we take a look at what we just built, you're going to see exactly how easy that was. Now, we also have the ability to go in and to create new questions, of course, from scratch. If you wanted to take that path in Schenectady for your florist and go in and add new offers or add new questions one at a time, you could absolutely do that. But essentially, all of the questions that are required, at least in this one section, for the HVAC offer are done. And specifically, these are the questions in the fields that are needed by Integrate for them to pay you money for these leads. So essentially, I just built this form. And the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you step one of really what that form looks like. Okay, so it doesn't look too sexy. You know, it's not really ready to convert at this point, but it's done. That portion of the form is done in a flash. You can go in here and you can make it look sexy. If pink is your thing, you can go in here and let's say the form field, at least the label we call it, let's make it the hot pink. So you make this hot pink, make it a little bit bigger. You can apply this into your entire section. You can save it. Voila, we have something that when I go back here to my form and I reload it, you're going to see that happen. Okay, so these changes are instantaneous. Now, obviously, that's not enough. There's more to do, and I'm going to show you how quick and easy it is to apply an actual look and feel that works to that offer. But let me jump before I show you how easy it is to make the page builder happen. Let me go to the integration part. Okay, so this is usually, or used to be, the scary technical part of this business. And in integration, for those of you that don't know, it's basically connecting two databases. So all this data that would be connected on this HVAC form when we make it look a little bit prettier is then going to be passed to your buyer to integrate. And you don't have to worry about a thing. You don't have to employ a technologist to do that. You simply go in here, you create a new integration, and you'll see just how easy it is. Again, we have the preset concept with HVAC. So this is an existing buyer, one of the 147 categories that are waiting for you. To HVAC test, create my advertiser, which is going to be integrate. The other thing you have to do is associate it to a form. So we just built this form that I showed you in my hot pink. So we're now connecting. Just by clicking that button, we're connecting the form to the thing that's going to make you the money. You got to make it active, you got to save it, and you're good to go. Oh, you have to put your delay there too. Some people like to delay when the lead goes out, so that's why that's there. So now that this is done, your two technical parts, the biggest technical hurdles as it relates to building your offer, are done. Now let's show you the creative part. And if people, and you got to be creative in this business. Everybody on this call, I'm sure, is creative just to be in this space, making a name for yourself. But this is where spending time can really increase your conversion rate. What you're seeing here, every single column, every single row here represents a new page that was automatically spawned. You might remember that very long number, which is the ID for the database for this new offer that we created. It pre-built a default page for you, an unsubscribe page, terms, privacy, popular pages that you needed. And I'm going to show you again how easy and how quick it can be to go and create an offer that actually is compelling. So in our page builder, we have a library of forms. It's always increasing, and we've loaded up a couple which are specific to what we're talking about tonight. HVAC is this one opportunity that we're presenting to you. Auto insurance, by the way, is another one. And the reason why we're starting out with these two of the 147 plus categories is because these buyers have an insatiable appetite. And by the way, if you're really good at another field other than, if you're passionate about it, if you have a way of generating traffic about something which is another one that's of those 147 categories, you can do that quickly and easily as well. But for tonight, let's focus on HVAC. So babies sell, in my experience. Not that I'm in the business of selling babies, but having babies on a form always works. So you can simply choose that, and voila. So here's this pink that we created before. You can see everything is drag and drop. If you wanted to go in and do something from scratch, you could have done that. You absolutely can do that. You should do that to make it your own. A lot of this is your secret sauce. But you can take an image and you can drag it over quickly and easily. Okay, so in this case, back to some of those elements that we talked about, these trust elements, which are so important. Voila, now this is in here. If you wanted to go in and add text, you can go in and do that quickly and easily as well. I am adding text. It's official. It's been done. So you can make things bigger, you can edit, you can change. This is great for changing your call to action and doing that type of thing. And you're going to see how this all unfolds momentarily. So here's the page that I have to remember to save. And essentially, when that saves, I can go back to the offer that we created over here, hit my refresh button, and see what we got. Voila. Okay, so here's this page that we just created from scratch. Granted, we have this template to choose from, and all these templates and more are available to you as a client of Tom. You can go in and create your own, the same way we dragged and dropped these different logos here. Here's my BBB logo. Here's my comment there. This was done within a couple minutes. I didn't take my exact time, but I'm going to say that was definitely less than 5 minutes in order to do that. And when the data gets entered in here, because I went through the integrations module that connected to integrate, and when people apply, the data goes there. If they qualify, you get paid. It's that straightforward. Back to what I said about how much easier lead generation is as opposed to sales, you can see how if you're targeting the right people who are contemplating thousands of dollars in a very hot summer to fix their AC unit, and they're desperately looking for a solution, and we know they're not going to the yellow pages and they're not going to the newspaper, they're looking online, you can be there and make a lot of money in this and many other spaces. Alrighty, so that's a kind of a quick tour of the components of Tom, and I want to jump right back into the presentation itself and talk about really what this means and kind of the bigger opportunity that we wanted to spell out for you this evening. The opportunity that truly is an opportunity in a box, okay? So all these things that used to keep people out of this lead gen space, that would keep all the bigger companies with the deeper pockets in it, they're gone. They don't need to be there anymore. You don't need to spend any time on your design or even a single dollar with a developer, because you've got your page builder and you have your form builder built specifically for the lead generation business as part of Tom. The buyers, this can be a pain in the butt. You know, not many people are natural salespeople. They don't enjoy picking up the phone. You don't have to. They're all teed up. Again, I'm only showing you 2 opportunities with HVAC and auto insurance because I don't have time to show you 147 different categories, but they're out there and they're ready and willing to take your leads. Okay, you can drag and essentially create those integrations as quickly and easily as I showed you. These are the pre-built integrations that I just mentioned, and of course a list of recommended traffic sources. I think the biggest thing here is those 3 components of Tom, or those 3 components of lead generation, which is getting the traffic, the technology, and the buyers. Using the solution that we're presenting for you this evening, you have knocked out 2 of the 3. You can set up an offer in minutes, as you just saw a moment ago. You spend a couple hours to make it really good, and you got to monitor and tweak it, and of course that's going to take time, but you're not spending any developer money to do that. You're not spending any designer money to do that. You're doing that yourself. The buyers, you don't have to pick up the phone and call anybody. We're going to provide you with a list of recommended traffic sources as well, if this is something you're interested in. And that's this opportunity. So again, I'm about to tell you a little bit more about a special offer that we have for you this evening, but I really want to stress before I get into that, this is not just about Tom. This is not just about us. I've been fortunate enough to have a lot of successes. I've learned a lot. We've built solutions that have solved problems for us, and I want to make these available to other people, and I want to do it in a way that's extremely cost effective. If you don't want to work with us, I would still highly encourage you to get into the business of lead gen. It is a phenomenal opportunity, and make sure you're building your own offers and controlling your data. That is huge. Okay, so that said, I do want to get into a deal, because we do have a special deal for everybody who's in attendance this evening, and tell you a little bit about what that is. Now, the first option that you're going to see here, this is actually our lowest price. We have a enterprise software, and then one step below enterprise pricing, which is a lot more expensive than this. So this is our base level pricing, but of course this is not what we're going to offer you. We have an OfferVault discount, so we're completely removing the setup fee for folks who want to get started right away. We've lowered the monthly fee by $50 a month. It's a savings of close to $1,100 in the first year. And as I shared with you at the beginning of the presentation, I do hail from offline marketing, infomercial space, and so I couldn't get through a presentation without saying, but wait, there's more, because there is more, okay? The first 25 signups tonight are going to get even better pricing. For the first 25 people who sign up tonight, we're willing to waive $1,700 in the first year alone. So again, of course, no setup fee. It's $149 for something that you saw me do in minutes. I literally put together this HVAC offer. I have the buyers queued up. They're ready to pay you money for these leads. It was done in less than 5 minutes. For $149 a month, you can get into it for the first 25 people tonight and take advantage of this opportunity to start really controlling your destiny, getting into this huge pie that is this multi-billion-dollar lead generation industry, and not being kept out as a result of what the big guys have known and have done over the years. You don't need that. We built the technology to do that. We've created the partnerships and are serving them up tonight for you to be able to do that. And so specifically, we've created a URL for you to go and sign up, if you're at least to take advantage of the first 25. So if you go to ov.tomdemo.com, you're going to see a special opportunity here for the first 25 people who come in. So this is really what I wanted to talk about tonight, and I really appreciate everybody spending some time with us. This is too big to not share. It's too big of a business to not become a part of. If you're into online marketing, which you must be because you're on this call, and if you're not doing lead generation, again, I implore you to get involved with that, make it happen. There are many riches out there to be had. Just make sure you don't get mired in many of the traps that have been known to keep people down in the past. Don't spend time doing things that might not be your core expertise. If you have a solution to focus on the technology and the buyers and basically check those boxes off, do it. Focus on the traffic, benefit from amazing pricing, and experience some success in lead gen. So that's what I wanted to talk about, and I think at this point we're about 45 minutes in. I think it'll be definitely a great opportunity to shift to a Q&A. I'm happy to address any and every question about the business, about what we do, anything that's on your mind, and you can let me know how you want to run that, Steve.
Okay, well, first and foremost, Jeff, thanks so much. That was awesome. I think this software is definitely revolutionary in our industry. It's going to help people a lot. There are a few questions out there. First and foremost, people are asking if they need to set a CPM budget.
If they can set a CPM budget? Yeah,
well,
absolutely.
You were saying your CPM is $550 here for the monthly. I think they want an explanation of exactly what that means.
Oh, what that means. Okay. Yeah, good question. Okay, so a CPM cost per thousand. Okay, this is what this is. And Tom is a fully hosted platform. So if you're driving, the more traffic you're driving and the more success that you have, we need to compensate for our server load and that type of thing. So in a very basic example, if you drove 900 people to an offer that you built on Tom, and 100 of those people filled out a form, then that would be 1,000. Okay, I'm quick with the math. So there's 1,000, which would be $5.50. So essentially, we charge a CPM fee for your page loads and your integration calls. Whenever it's taxing the servers based on your growth is when that CPM fee comes into play.
Okay. Let's see. Our next question looks like Thomas asks if he's saying he runs a call center doing lead generation and they talk to thousands of people daily. Would they have to make each person go to a landing page and fill out the form? Or do some of the verticals have live transfers or something that they can send them data to?
Would they have to make the people fill the form? No, absolutely not. I mean, you can have, depending upon how you're constructed, we do work with some clients who use it in that environment. Essentially, the form that's being filled out is being filled out by your agents. You know, you can make a form, that first version of the form that I showed you, which was hot pink and had none of the design around it. You could create something like that with a lot of internal cues, maybe scripts for your agents, and you essentially use that to process your data. And now I've figured out how to see these questions myself, although they're very narrow. I know you tried to tell me how this works, so you want me to try and bang those out as well?
Yeah, go ahead. All you have to...
Okay, so yeah, some of the questions...
All you have to do is...
All I have to do is expand it. Okay.
Expand it by hitting the arrows, and then you have to drag it out a little bit.
All right, cool. So somebody said, would this work for mortgage leads? I think you answered that already. It'll work for any software. Yes, it's agnostic to the offer. You know, it's not, Tom doesn't care if you put a mortgage deal on here, if you put auto insurance, it just doesn't care. Let's see. Somebody else said, let's see, something about a magic connection. I'm always interested in magic connections. I'm not
I
sure.
think he heard the word HVAC, and he said he had an HVAC magic connection. So,
all right,
this obviously might work well for him.
Okay.
There's a good one here at the end asking if this will work with pay-per-call.
Absolutely, yeah. You can incorporate. We work with some different third-party vendors from the pay-per-call front. So, if you wanted to have, and let me just actually backtrack and make sure I'm answering your question correctly. So, answer one, which might not be specifically answering your question, but these days with mobile or even without mobile, sometimes people just want to pick up the phone and call, right? So we can work with some third-party solutions and incorporate JavaScript into the form, which can rotate the phone numbers if you need to for trackability. Was that the question? So definitely you can incorporate phone numbers into the page, which would then, of course, translate to pay-per-call.
Absolutely, yeah, and that definitely covers it. A lot of questions about traffic sources and asking if you provide the traffic.
We don't provide the traffic. We provide some introductions to some folks who are, I'm not going to call them like secret sauce kind of traffic folks, but
sure.
There's, for anybody who does get involved, we'll give you the list. Again, we really feel that back to those three tenets of this business. So it's the traffic, the technology, and the buyers. One guy and a lot of times one company can't do it all. You know, all those things are full-time jobs, and the traffic is where you need to spend your time. So yeah, we can give you a short list, and we would definitely encourage you. Some are better for some verticals than others, but that's what you're going to be able to have time freed up to spend time on as a result of not having to worry about the buyers or not having to worry about the technology.
Yeah, I think another key aspect to that, Jeff, too, about the traffic source is, you know, with the ability of Tom, this allows you to no longer just generate a simple lead for one vendor. You can collect your own data with this. And there's, as you know, as a lead gen guy for years, I mean, there's so many different things you can do with that data. You know, once that data shares, and you kind of cover this in the beginning, you know, the choices are endless for you. So that, I mean, because that's your data. So
yeah,
a lot of what you guys have to understand out there is that, you know, what Tom is going to do is this gives you way more control than you've ever had before. And so once you have traffic to that, which they definitely point you in the right direction to, this just gives you more leverage in a lot of deals, which helps you make a lot more money down the road. Would you agree with that, Jeff?
Oh, there's no question. And again, I mean, if you take nothing else away from this, you got to do that. Again, I'm assuming that a lot of folks on the call tonight have gotten involved in the affiliate marketing space and perhaps pushed traffic to these third-party offers. You know, I will tell you that there are plenty of businesses online where you can lose money. Well, there's all kinds of businesses you can lose money on, but where it's okay to lose money the first click, the first time. Because if somebody fills out the form and you break even or you lose a little money, but there's certain data sets, there's certain segments of people, consumers, who will buy and rebuy again and again and again. And a lot of times it's the same product, okay? So you're not going to benefit from any of that if you're not collecting that data. And these old, I think the old traditional affiliate marketing models, it's kind of broke. You know, I think there's been a lot of offers that have just been cloned and copied and then brokered. But a lot of those guys knew what I just said, which was it's okay sometimes to lose money to acquire the data because they can then remarket to them. And that's huge. That can be the difference between success and failure. That's why I feel like anybody in this business, you just have to, if you're really doing this as a serious business, and you're not collecting your traffic, you're leaving so much, or excuse me, you're not collecting your data, you're leaving so much money on the floor. Yet you have to do that.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Okay, right. Layla wants to know if this offer is for the technology and not the leads, correct?
The technology and not the leads. Well, the offer that we're unfolding is for technology that allows you to deploy offers that can create the leads and then connects with the buyers who are willing to pay you money for it. So I guess essentially it is about the leads, right? It's leads that you generate, but this is all the technological and the buyer, our needs are handled with a solution. So you want me to cover recommended traffic sources? Yeah, that's somebody that can get you that information. Let's see, $149 for the software. Yes, that's the price. Somebody else is a techie. We answered CPM. Someone's cat stepped on their keyboard. All right, so hopefully that's been solved. I already have some domains that I can use for this. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the domains are yours. You basically point the domains to unique IP addresses that we provide you as a licensee of Tom, and then everything resolves, and you suddenly have the ability to create those forms in minutes in the way that I showed you previously. So all the domains are on your end. Let's see here. I don't see any other questions in there.
Okay, well, there's a few new ones I think that have come down towards the bottom. One was, I'm pushing offers strictly on mobile. What does this software do besides collect data?
Quite a bit. So I didn't show you in the short time that we had tonight the responsive design option. So if you wanted to create a responsive design, and obviously if you're going to do something in the mobile environment, you might not need that much stuff because you don't have that much time to collect that information. So we absolutely have the ability to create responsive designs which are specific for mobile. You can make them specific for specific for a handheld, one specific for a tablet. We have the ability, which I didn't get into, for pixel placements or postback URLs. I don't know, if we're getting too technical with that, but if you're in the mobile space and let's say you're buying traffic somewhere else, you want a postback URL, or you want to basically communicate when something good happens, or maybe when something bad happens with your lead, to the source where you were buying the traffic. Okay, that's key. So we give you the ability to go in and even create conditions. Maybe I'll just show you that briefly and see if this is something that can benefit people. So if we go back into these forms, and I'm just going to focus, this is not just for mobile. Everything that I'm going to talk here is completely relevant to somebody who's creating a page on desktop as well. But whether you're working with an affiliate tracking solution, whether you're working with Google AdWords, we down here can create the pixel. Okay, this is where, and a pixel is a point of communication from your offer to whomever you want to communicate with. So let's say you were buying traffic on ad network ABC. I'm just going to use abc.com, and they're going to give you some gobbledygook in here, code equals yada yada yada. You can paste all this or copy all this stuff from their console and paste it here, and then you can apply a condition. Okay, so I'm going to save this, and then I'm going to go and apply a condition. So let's say you're doing a mobile offer for health insurance, and you have a traffic, so your health insurance buyer, whether you've connected with Integrate or you can connect with your own buyers as well, by the way. We just have this partnership with Integrate that makes things so much easier. And you know that your health insurance buyer doesn't want people who smoke. And you've asked people in the form if they smoke. Well, there would be a variable. Basically, this variable that you see up here is connected to the question. So in order to collect the data that we do on some of these offers, well, it's all stored in the database, so it can be regurgitated and integrated and connected with your buyer in the form of a variable. And I don't have this particular variable smoker in this demo account, but let's just presume that this was referencing a smoker. And if smoker equals the string value of no, or let's say yes. Maybe you wanted to save this if it said yes. Well, you know that your health insurance, life insurance buyer is not interested in people who smoke. They're not going to pay you for those people. And if for whatever reason you're advertising in a mobile network or elsewhere and it seems to be targeting a group of traffic or a group of consumers who smoke, and you make that connection, turning that off and knowing that is huge. So we give you the ability to go in here and place these pixels. Or it could be, or excuse me, this could be a postback URL as well, or it can be an iframe, or it can be JavaScript, different pixels here, which can communicate with your ad networks. All right. So let's see, let me scroll down to the bottom with the questions. Steve, do the new questions go to the top?
Nope, they go to the bottom. I'm actually trying to answer some to everybody while you're talking because they're kind of flying in right now. Another very important one just came in. Can you accept any other payment besides PayPal?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, if it's credit card, obviously we can accept credit card, we accept PayPal, and hopefully that solves the issue for you. All right.
Frank wants to know if we're familiar with iMobi Tracks, and if so, what's the difference between the two?
iMobi.
Real sure. iMobi Tracks is tracking, Frank. This is simply a way to build landing pages and build, you know, your own sites basically to generate traffic. I think that kind of.
Yeah. So this
doesn't track.
Let me kind of paint the picture of where we fit in the marketplace here. So if we talk about who we are, let's see. Think of us as front end, okay? And depending upon how you're involved in this business, if let's say you're using a tracking solution, so if you had a need for an iMobi Tracks and you want to track whether if you're running affiliates of your own or whether you are just using a third-party tracking solution to keep up on the different ad networks, what's working, what's converting, what isn't, then that's the very beginning. That's where it all starts. Okay, so you create a link there. The link pushes to an offer that's hosted on Tom. On Tom, you can create this form dynamically without a developer, build this WYSIWYG page. You saw me do it in minutes dynamically without a developer. Create this integration to push that data over to your buyer. So it's really the front end. So we work very synergistically with a lot of the tracking platforms out there, the has offers of the world, and those folks people who want to use that for a really robust tracking system, and then point everything here. They can send a URL through to an offer. Here was this offer that we created on the fly, and basically they can enter and pass in different variables. And I may or may not be getting too technical, but if somebody asks the question, I'll answer it. So if sub ID equals 123, this data is then going to be stored within Tom. So this value that's associated with a variable and a tracking platform is going to be pushed forward to Tom and stored, and that can be regurgitated and sent back in a postback URL, which is vital information that you're going to need in order to be able to really figure out what traffic is working, what isn't.
All right. Let's see, where the questions are still kind of flying in. We're kind of getting close to being over our time here, so let's see if we can get a few more and try to wrap it up. Does this handle lead distribution if we have multiple buyers? I think you explained that, but yeah, I mean, if you want to go into that a little deeper, Jeff?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. The integration side is, and again, for the purposes of tonight, we really wanted to focus on this connection that we have with Integrate, because finding the buyers can be an ordeal. And we're already connected with, as I mentioned, 147 plus different verticals, thousands of different offers out there ready to receive traffic. If you already have your buyer, if you want to connect with Constant Contact or some type of autoresponder mailing system, you can build an integration here from scratch and do that very thing. So anybody who provides you with an API instruction, you can go in here and push your data wherever you want. If you want to push it, so I guess the real question was buyers, right? Multiple buyers. You can go in and you can create conditions. And in this case, it's a condition upon which must be satisfied in order for the integration to fire. So I used that example before of smoker. Maybe you have a health insurance buyer who doesn't want anybody from Wisconsin. You have another guy who wants only people from California who are 70 years and older. You can create these conditions which all tie back to the variables, which of course all tie back to the form fields within the offer that you've created, and build a rule set so it can go to multiple buyers. So yes, it can absolutely connect with as many buyers as you want. You can send the same lead to competing buyers. If you have a deal where you can sell non-exclusive leads, then yeah, you create your conditions accordingly. And then in the same way here, I associated this integration with a form. So I had built that HVAC form, and then I went in here and I'd connect it, or I'll do it now, connect it with one form. Let's say we have multiple forms out there, or let's say we have multiple integrations with multiple buyers. You can connect these multiple integrations with multiple buyers to the same form. So if you have 10 buyers that are all buying the same type of lead with similar criteria, you can build 10 integrations to those buyers, which, by the way, you can clone as well. And I'm kind of getting off the path of people who choose to go the integrate model. So if you create something, you want to go in and you want to just copy it, you can click this and it copies it. Boom, it's done. Everything you just did is there. All the fields are there. You will need to adjust a different URL and perhaps some different field types for your new buyer, but the same thing can be done with your forms. The same thing can be done with your pages. If you want to go in and create a new version and do an A/B split, champion challenger kind of a deal, figure out which landing page is better to convert, run them simultaneously, you have to do that actually. And we make it really easy not only to create the offers, the pages, and the integrations in the first place, but to then clone them later and be able to benefit from fast to market type technology.
Awesome. Yeah, I think, one thing a lot of people need to understand is a lot of what your software is allowing affiliates to do is almost to become the advertiser as well, because they can build their own pages and they can choose who they sell this to. In addition to just an affiliate network, they can set up, kind of like what Integrate does. You can sell your leads to multiple vendors. There's a lot you can do with this, and I think you're maximizing the value of your traffic more than you've ever been able to. Would you agree with that?
I would not only agree with that, I just think it's night and day in terms of being truly successful and just partially successful in this business. I think that doing that and having that ability, I think there's a lot of people out there who, if they can save $50 on their auto insurance, they have no brand loyalty whatsoever. And if you can reach out to them, and whether it's through email, whether it's through any mechanism that you come up with, and touch them again, that is critical. Sometimes it can be the difference between success and failure. That's why I wanted to focus so much on that, owning your data. Data is king kind of stuff. But the other side of it is that you can have a rollicking success as a result of that. It's a major difference maker. And if you're just pushing traffic to somebody else and you don't own it, don't have that possibility. So
no, and I think that's what most affiliates have made a living off of for the past several years is, especially in the lead gen space is, it's easy to push traffic and get a CPA of $10, but with this, you can create your own pages and you can get that CPA multiple times. And that's the key. I know you have a lot of these resources available when they sign up, in terms of selling with Integrate and other partners. But I mean, that's the power of this. It's amazing. I mean, I've been in the space for 7 years, and stuff like this, it would cost thousands a month before. I mean, there was nothing like this. So.
And it never ends. I'm telling you that those tech expenses never end. There's always something to be done. There's always something to be changed. We are in the business of making this work for our clients. We are on top of those changes when it comes to whether it's a new operating system, a new browser, new technologies for firing pixels. I mean, that's what we live and breathe, and sometimes dream. So we're on top of that. It just puts you in a situation where for this deal that we're making tonight, it's such a massive savings, and also a savings in terms of the headaches of trying to deal with this technical team. You need reliable working tech in this business. I feel you truly need data to be a major player in this business, and in some industries just to frankly succeed. So I think it's been really intimidating for a lot of folks who are really good at marketing, and they just have been bamboozled by all the things that you need to put together, and then on top from a technical perspective, and then on top of that to solve the buyer issue. It gives you the time to focus on remarketing to that data that you've collected, finding new traffic sources, creating nuances, being really good at the marketing. And to me, anyway, that's the fun part of this business is the marketing and seeing how creativity that you can employ, changes that you can make, can result in dollars and cents to your bank account. So I hope
that's what separates us as marketers. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, so please, if you take nothing else away, please take that away from this. It's what you got to do. You got to collect your own data. You got to make your own offers, and I hope you can appreciate the phenomenal opportunity that we've made available for the webinar tonight.
Jeff, one more quick point before we close this thing down. Obviously you made this look so super easy when you created that offer, and obviously you had a few things built out. But how user friendly is this, and how much help do you have for everybody that signs up?
It is, look. Anytime you use new software, there's a learning curve. That's just a fact. Okay, that's just how that is. It's going to take some time. We have built an extremely robust knowledge pane here. You just hit the question mark on whatever place you go to. It explains everything. We have a wizard which is going to be launched in probably about 3 days, so it makes it even easier. So while admitting and acknowledging that, of course, any new software, it takes a little bit of time to get there, we're absolutely here for you. We've got the technical support to service, to answer any questions. We're really just kind of an email or a chat away. We have pre-added the offers and the forms for the HVAC and the auto insurance buyers that we've talked about this evening. In any licensee that signs up this evening. So out of the gate, you can walk in with an opportunity that you can use from day one. So that's the good thing. So hopefully, if somebody feels that they can make something happen in auto insurance and HVAC to start, it's done. It's ready. Choose a template, change it around a little bit, go to market, and as you have questions, certainly consult our knowledge pane. Consult our CAMs, our customer account managers, and the support will be the of no concern. That's really what we have to excel with here.
All right. I think there's one more question we'll take here, and then Jeff, I'll let you wrap it up with your final kind of comments. And really appreciate your time tonight. This is awesome software. Fred wants to know, or I'm sorry, Cody wants to know if he can use this software just to simply create banners.
Simply create banners. No, we don't do banners. I know that there's a lot of free resources out there on the internet that can allow you to do that. I can't think of it, of course, now that I say that, but no, we're doing something far more robust than that. So if you're creating your banners, we are where you would point your banner after the fact in order to be able to monetize. So this is the offer. So this is well, I guess that's our offer, but this is what we're allowing you to do, is to create this type of environment with a buyer who's ready to pay you for it in minutes. So I appreciate all the questions. I appreciate everybody spending some time with us tonight. Again, I'll just keep on repeating it because I'm such a believer in it. Lead gen is where you want to be. Lead gen is a much easier sale than getting people to actually take out their credit card and buy something. The appetite of these lead gen categories that are out there right now, it's insatiable. They want as many leads as they can possibly get for the right categories. You don't have to worry about the buyers. You don't have to worry about the tech. You can focus on the traffic. We'll provide you some tips and tricks and some preferred vendors that you might want to go after. But really, this will allow you to focus time doing that. And the more time you can spend on the things that you need to in your business, the better chances you are going to have for success. So thank you so much, everybody, for spending time with us tonight. Thank you, Steve, for the opportunity. And I know this will be ready. This will be available for all OfferVault members, the video, that is, of the presentation on the site for a while. So if you want to re-review it, if you want to reach out and talk to us directly for any additional questions, we're also happy to do that as well. I would just encourage you to take advantage of the discounted pricing we have for the first 25 registrations. And thanks again. Good evening, good morning, good day.
All right, Jeff, thanks so much again for your time, and I'm excited to see what this software does to the industry. So thanks, everyone, for joining us tonight. We're glad to have you and glad to have you back. I know it's been a while, but looking forward to having you back again soon, and we'll see you on the net. Take care. All right.
Take care, Steve. Take care, everybody.
The organizer has ended the session, and this call will be disconnected. 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 Disconnected.